Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your South African professional nurse Z, and today's video, it's solemnly based on my observation, my experiences, what I have decided to abstract from everything else that I have observed. Today's video, I want us to discuss the image of nursing in South Africa, and don't be on some, oh, so this is what the department thinks, this is what nurses think. No, it's solemnly my opinion, honey. My individual thing. I want us to discuss the image of South African nursing currently in our day and age. So let me not ramble. Let's get on to today's video. But before we do that, quickly run and press the subscribe button and make sure you subscribe and stay tuned on my channel. Let's do that. I recently wrote a post on Facebook and I said that as young nurses, we have the responsibility to redefine and shape the image of nursing in South Africa because it is alarming. Nurses are known to be rude, nurses are known to be mean, they are known to be killing people, they are known to be delivering poor healthcare services, and all these negative things. We are known to be cruel and bitter. What inspired me to do this video, it was a conversation between me and a colleague of mine who's a medical doctor. I asked him, what does he think about the current image of nursing in South Africa? And he said that when they say nursing has gone to the dogs, they are describing the current image of nurses in South Africa. But I was a bit, I don't know how did I feel when he said that, but I was not happy. That's all I can say. So I sat down and tried to see and look at the things that are happening around nursing and come up with a description of the current image of nursing. And to me, the current image of nursing is that of an abused woman. How is an abused woman? An abused woman, she doesn't believe in herself, she has a low self-esteem, she takes out her anger on everyone that is around her. She is scared to stand up to her abuser. Her abuser projects all the negative words to her. Negative words being, you are useless, you are good for nothing, you don't know what you are doing, you are not good to be a mom, you are not fit to be a wife, and I am doing you a favor by being with you. You are not pretty. Whatever that comes out of your mouth, it adds no value to anything. That is basically an abused person. An abused person hurts others. When you break a glass and try to pick it up, it has a potential of harming you than when it is intact. So an abused person has a potential of harming others. Nurses have been abused in South Africa for a long time. They've been projected to the hands of an abuser, and they turned out to be exactly what the abuser says about them. The abuser placed a price tag on them, a peanut price tag on them, that is their salary. The abuser made them to wear rags because I guess the abuser doesn't believe that they deserve a decent uniform. Nurses' uniform is a rag, guys. Like, one of the things that makes us to have low confidence. I remember when I started working, I literally went out to buy my own uniform. Like, I was wearing my own stylish blue and white. And I wish that we could have nurses that are designing uniform for us. I was looking at the Nedbank staff members. They wear an amazing professional uniform. It makes you want to have an account with Nedbank because they look like they know what they're doing. The way they walk, the way they talk, just simply because of how they present themselves in their uniform. But it's a different story when it comes to nurses. We wear rags, guys, and I don't even want to get in that because I personally hate the nurses' uniform that is being prescribed for us. I don't even know who prescribed it. What were they thinking when prescribing that uniform? But yeah, nurses wear rags, and an abused woman, the clothes that she wears most of the times, they are the clothes that she wears to fit the words that are being uttered by the abuser, to fit the description that the abuser has said about her, that you are good for nothing, you are not pretty enough, you cannot do what you think you can do, you are just a dreamer, and all that. Nurses also have been made to believe that they are nannies and domestic workers for other healthcare professionals. I mean, if the diet of the hospital is not good enough, the nurses have to account. If the lenients are dirty, the nurses have to account. If there is no medication in the facility, the nurse has to account. If there is shortage of staff, the nurse has to account. So we have been made to be nannies. You know, are expected to nanny other healthcare professionals. Nurses are even expected to nanny managers, and that has made us bitter because we are unable to stand for ourselves and speak out. So that has made us to swallow all these negative things, and it makes us to be bitter. An abused woman will not speak up and say, I'm being abused, that's why I'm dressed up like this. I'm being abused, that's why I'm so angry to everyone. That's why I'm projecting my anger to literally everyone. I'm being abused, that's why I'm neglecting my children. That's not what an abused woman will do. She will swallow everything that the abuser says to her and absorb it and internalize it, and she will only act it out. And unfortunately, most of the times she acts it out to inappropriate people. So casualties are always other people other than the abuser. I said that as young nurses, when I said as young nurses, I meant as young nurses who have not yet been projected a lot into this abusive system in the nursing career. We need to take a stand. We need to redefine ourselves. We need to reshape the views of nursing in South Africa. We need to let the public know that we are not only known advocating for the patients, but we will also be advocating for ourselves, because we are a profession on our own right. We are not domestic workers for other healthcare professionals. So as young nurses, we have that responsibility of standing out, and I want to send out this message to every South African young nurse, whether you're a student nurse, first year working, third year, fourth year, fifth year working. I want to send this message to you that you are good enough, and you deserve much more than what you are being given at the moment where you are. But I do not want you to take how they label you and own it. I don't want you to take that. I want you, from the depth of yourself, to dig in and come up with a definition of who you are, a description that suits you best, a description that you think you are capable of becoming, even if it's something that you don't seem to be at the moment, but it's something that you aspire to be. I want you to act it out louder than what the abuser is projecting onto you. I want you to raise that banner of saying, I am a nurse, a different kind of nurse. I am not just the nurse that you've been describing all these years. I am a different kind of nurse. I want every young nurse to be a pioneer in their own right. Start your own thing, do your own thing, do it the correct way. People will use Florence Nightingale to try and abuse us. Okay. There is something that they are not telling you about Florence Nightingale. Florence Nightingale was a pioneer in her own right. So I think she would be quite disappointed at the fact that we are letting people to define us, we are letting people to abuse us, instead of us being pioneers in our own right, instead of us utilizing our profession to be pioneers, to expand new routes in the profession for the next coming generation. We have to lead by example. You are a young South African nurse and you are out there in your corner alone, and you feel, this is not what I signed up for, this is not what I wanted to be. I want to tell you that you can be what you wanted to be. What you thought nursing was before you got in it, before you were exposed to the abuse that is in nursing, what you thought it was, it can be only if you act it out. If you do not tell you, when your abuser says that you are nothing, you need to say, no, I am something. But I think one of the reasons that the healthcare system of South Africa is not so pleasing, it's because we as nurses are not confident enough to speak up for ourselves. If we are not confident enough to speak up ourselves, how are we going to be confident enough to speak up for the patient? I get we are told to advocate for the patients, but if you cannot advocate for yourself, how do you then expect to advocate for someone else? It's highly impossible. Let's refuse. Let's refuse to be abused. Let's refuse to be labeled. Let's refuse. And let's not only just refuse verbally, but let's also refuse through our actions. We need to address the fact that we are underpaid. We need to address the fact that we do not like our uniform. We need to address the fact that we do not like how we are expected to respond on behalf of other healthcare professionals, because we are not their nannies, we are not their domestic workers. So if there is shortage of medication in the hospital, don't ask a nurse. If there is no clean linen that is available in the hospital, do not ask the nurse. If the floor is dirty, do not ask a nurse. If the diet of the hospital is not pleasing, do not ask a nurse. Honey, do not ask a nurse. Nurses, you need to own up to your image. You need to redefine it. Young nurses, you have the responsibility of redefining the image of nursing. If not, The South African nursing system will not, I repeat, will not be better. It will only get worse. I hope someone somewhere learned something from this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any experience that you've had in nursing with nurses, comment down below. Tell me what is it that you think we can change as nurses in South Africa to better our image. Tell me your own experiences in nursing if you are a nurse. What is the current image of nursing in South Africa according to you? Don't forget to subscribe on my channel for my next videos, and I'll see you guys on my next video.